Man, I'm getting super sick of these people that either live in Costa Rica or lived in Costa Rica, and all they do is talk crap about Costa Rica. They stereotype a whole culture. They spread their discriminating negative viewpoints. And if people don't know about Costa Rica, these negative bloggy, Facebooky video people might be believed. And we're going to get into those whiny little bitches in about 45 seconds. Guys, I'm Michael Allen for TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Hey, man, YouTube's hard, man. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd appreciate it. If you want to show some love, there's a fun way to donate. You can buy me a coffee. All that's in a link in the description. And, man, we got our new dates for the Relocation Retreat, man. We got our new dates. I can't remember them off the bat, but all that info will be in a link if Costa Rica's on your radar, but you're not quite sure. This 6-7 day event is freaking fun. You get tons of information. Great. You meet great contacts. The whole thing is great now. Nobody's probably thinking about it right now before Christmas, but I guarantee people are going to start signing up in January. So if you want to hit the next one, I would just do it sooner rather than later. Yes, you can wait a little bit. You're going to be fine. We're not that big, but it probably will sell out again. And it is super, super fun. So I'd love to see you there. All right, man, let's talk about this for a minute. So, you got a lot of, I'm only negative about Costa Rica because I'm a truth teller. I tell it like it is. T.I. is. So I don't mean to be negative, but I know what's up and I know the real story and I'm going to tell people. And you see this in blogs, you see this in people that make videos, you see this in people that lived here and they feel like they need to, well, I left because, Costa Rica sucks and, they try to rob you blind and everybody you meet, they're just going to try to rip you off. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just being honest. No, you're not. You're not being honest at all, actually. And I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. So, again, there are people that just whine and complain and are whiny little bitches all the time. Super negative, whether they lived here now. Because you left Costa Rica, that's not a problem. You can leave for any reason you want. And I totally, totally get it. I mean, Costa Rica's not right for everybody, or it didn't work out for you, or maybe it was working out, but you didn't like it. So leaving isn't really the thing. I totally understand that. But what I don't like is when people just tell their little anecdotal stories and, they're kind of out of context and they're not that they're not true. I mean, some of them are true, but it's just whining and complaining and just making, so this one story means everybody is like that. And I mean, come on, man, it can't get any more stereotyping than that. So I do have notes because I'm going to get all sidetracked. So, they make these blanket comments. They make their videos and blogs, and it just comes down to they're not that great of people. They're trying to rip you off, and it's just, oh, this sucks, that sucks, everything sucks. And I'm just telling you, all right? I'm just going to tell you. So now I'm going to get into this a little bit in a bit, but a lot of this is people not taking responsibility. Trust me, whether it's just doing your due diligence, homework, and research, you just weren't prepared. So you came down to Costa Rica and you may not have been prepared for some of the things that are going to happen to you. So I do got my big cup, right? I hope you guys got your big cup. Now, something devastating can happen here to make you leave. I guess. I mean, if something really bad happened and you're like, man, fuck that, I'm out of here. I kind of get that. I'm not sure if you would apply that, where you live if something devastating happened. I don't know if you'd really maybe leave, but okay, it doesn't matter. So I totally understand that. Now, I've had death threats against me. I've had threats of bodily harm. You can go back through some videos and see the comments. I kept them up on some of these videos back in the day. Gay stuff, thrown out, discriminated in that one restaurant. People didn't like when I thought Because, okay, to be honest, I was kind of doing this. So I was making videos back in the day, and my experiences were, oh, like for instance, I made a video where this maintenance guy came over and caulked my shower. It was it was a terrible caulking job. It was, and I made a kind of a video, kind of putting that all the maintenance people, suck. But I thought I'm providing information, and I'm trying to be honest. And yeah, there's truth to it. So now let's break some of this down and see if anything the people that whine and complain can put themselves in any of these, like, let's say, boxes. Let's say 1%, I don't know if it's a little higher, whatever it is just bad people with bad intentions, bad actors that live in a country, and that's any country. Whether it's the drug people or these people, or they're just bad people that hate the world. That's in every country, well, except maybe Japan. If you ever get a chance to go there, go to Japan. But you got a lot of bad people that do a majority of some of the bad things. So there's that element. And yes, bad things happen to good people too. Now I'm going to give a story. I mean, I think anybody would realize this. So you guys know Jeannie, right? She's not only I've done a few videos with her and her husband, and the first video I did was them. They got totally robbed. I mean, jewelry, the whole 9 yards. Anything that was worth any kind of money, they were ripped off. They weren't in the house. No, maybe they were in the house. I can't remember. But anyway, so now 2 ways to basically look at it, right? I'm a victim. Everybody sucks. They rip you off if given the chance. Blah, 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 blah. Now, if you go back to that video and they realize now, obviously that shouldn't happen. Nobody's saying that, well, you should have got ripped off. But they went back and regrouped and made the corrections. They made the corrections to make their home or whatever more secure. And I've got a million videos on how to do that. And a lot of it's pretty much commonsensical. But sometimes you're just not thinking, or maybe you just got here and you haven't had a chance. Actually, I think that was more there. They were kind of newer, and I don't know. But anyway, they looked at it like, yes, this happened, but it's not going to happen again to us. Now, some people might just, I'm hightailing it out of here. I'm not putting up with that. And I can say for myself, I could sit here for probably 5 hours and tell you story after story of maybe why I should leave, but I'm not. So you can play the victim. We all know those people. It's always somebody else's fault. They've been traumatized, or they were triggered from something happened in their younger days, and all they do is just whine and complain and never take any responsibility for maybe what has happened to them in just ways that you can fix it so it doesn't happen again. First, I want to talk about gringo pricing. All right, you hear that a lot. Gringo pricing. I've made videos on it. This is where I wasn't really understanding myself. Gringo pricing is a stupid phrase. All it means is buyer beware. It's anywhere in the world. If you're going to pay more, if somebody says this house is $500,000 and you're going, yeah, I'll pay that, and then you find out later it was $400,000, whose fault is that? You did not do your homework and research. People are going to take what you're willing to give them. Now, if you don't know enough, if you're not, not old enough to know how the world works, people will take advantage. I learned this the hard way. I lost $90,000 when I first got here because I didn't do my homework and research. Was the guy a creep? Yes, he was. And I shouldn't have been, but that's what happened, and it teaches you a big lesson real quick. Or we could have left with our tail between our legs. I've said it a million times. You can see those videos. So gringo pricing is just buyer beware. Beware. So question question that, I don't know, the taxi. Question your first rental property, which is mostly when everybody gets gringo price. But why is it called gringo pricing? So you kind of, now you're already starting like a prejudicial, like a negative feeling about, well, that's what they all call it. They all try to get over. All right. So they're all trying to gringo price. Most of it's in the fields that you don't know. If you don't know or didn't do your due diligence, yeah, people will charge more. It's kind of human nature in a way to make money. And if you're willing to give it, they're going to take it. And not they. I don't mean they as in Costa Rica. I mean they almost anywhere in the world. So why it's called gringo pricing, that catches on, and it's like it is a negative connotation because it's not necessarily true. And I'm going to tell you why it's not true. Now, the other thing that happens is people try to shortcut and save money. And that's what happened on that maintenance thing when I was talking about my caulking. Who's doing it? Well, Jose's cousin's boyfriend was doing it because I heard he could do it. And he could also fix your electricity if you wanted to. I tried to shortcut. I didn't ask a professional person to get this job done. They have professionals here, man. You can get great work done here. I could show you a million houses as nice as wherever you live, and they understand. But you've got to find those people. You've got to find those people, and a lot of people shortcut. Whether it's the pool boy, the maid. I mean, and then what happens when that caulking is shitty? Oh, I'm writing my blog. Oh my God, you need to be careful. They do shitty ass jobs. No, he wasn't really a maintenance guy. He's just trying to make money. I think I could probably work that out. Whose fault is that? That is my fault. Completely, actually. So some of these things, again, don't have to happen. So a lot of it is people trying to shortcut to save money. The other thing is, and the more sneakier, nefarious thing is why people talk shit and try to blame Costa Rica as being like, rip you off and they're going to rob you blind and they're all after you. No, I'll tell you what, it's kind of like what I just said, but what happens is, okay, so let's say I'm going to build a bodega, like a garage in back of my house, and I'm talking to somebody and I'm like, man, I'm looking for some lumber, man. I just need some lumber, some good wood. I want to make this little bodega. And the guy goes, well, I know where you can get some wood. I'm like, cool. How much? So we work out a little deal. I'm not really asking where he's getting his lumber. So let's say he delivers the lumber, I pay him, and let's say that night it's taken and it's probably him. Well, who am I hanging out with, man? I tried to pull a fast one with bad behavior, and I'm talking to somebody hey, I can do that for you. And I could tell that story a million different ways, not just lumber, but all kinds of things, services, building houses, architect, all kinds of stuff where, hey, I'm trying to A, save money, B, and if I can get that for cheaper, well, why am I getting it for cheaper? Because he probably stole it. All right. So if he delivers it to me and then steals it at night, and I kind of know he did it, and oh yeah, see, they're all trying to rip you off. No, bitch, you tried to pull fast one with bad people, and you're just as bad as they are. But you can't say that, can you? You can't say it was you being. I was being a little thievery myself because I knew it was ripped off lumber. But no, you can't tell that story, right? You can't tell that story, and that one happens a lot. And again, you would never know that because people are not going to tell you that. The other thing is. What I got written there? So that's kind of where, yeah, you can have bad. That's why the relocation retreat is so good. You meet the best contacts. They're transparent. They are professional. You don't have to worry about the caulking being shitty. You don't have to worry about the import-export guy or the health insurance guy or buying a car or some of these things where I have really good contacts. People I would go, hey, Mom, I'm going to send you this person. Yeah, they're going to make a little money because that's their job, but they're not going to rip you off. I already vetted people. So who are you hanging out with? You bitcher, whiner, complainer, little pussy. Who are you hanging out with and who's doing the jobs for you? But no. Can't say that because Ticos all try to rip you off. No, unsavory Ticos try to rip you off. And you could say that about any country. So if you get the right people, they have them here in anything you're thinking of, and you do your due diligence, or you get your contract, or you do things right, obviously your risk factor is going to go down to about zero. And a lot of people learn that the harder way. And then if they don't learn it, like Jeannie, they learned it. They fixed the problem because they knew it was kind of on them, not that they thought they should get ripped off, right? So anyway, people like to spread these things. And the other thing is, dude, your aura, maybe you suck. You know what I mean? Maybe you approach everything in such a negative manner. It's going to come back. Whatever you put out there, it's going to come right back to you. So if you are negative all the time, you're going to be around negative people. You're going to be other people that like to, like, yeah, it sucks here, man. Yeah, this, that. Yeah, it happened to me too. Yeah. Oh, shut up. Shut up. You guys keep your, you bloggy, Facebooky curmudgeons and complainers. Well, again, leave if it's so bad. You probably should leave, but don't talk shit about it. Maybe take a little responsibility in your behavior. All right. So that goes a long way. Just negative thinking, just that cloud. I know everybody knows those people. Everybody knows those people. That just like, oh shit. I'm gonna hear, we were supposed to show up at 7, but Jose's cousin's brother told me So if you start combining that gringo pricing, which that's not even right, but so buyer beware stuff is mostly your fault for not doing due diligence, or my fault, which has been numerous times. Contacts in general. And I think I've told this story before. D'Angelo and I, mostly D'Angelo, we tried to run a fast one. He could not get internet at his mountain house. The last house, he was the last house, the house next to him the internet went up to him, or to that last house. So he feels that he's this close, and it never came. Years. So I can't remember the time frame, but he found out that there's this person that'll come and put a big ass antenna on your house and give you internet. Now, who was that person? That person worked for whatever internet outfit. He came with a big truck, put like a 50-foot freaking tower, on top of D'Angelo's thing. And then D'Angelo paid him the monthly thing. And he could charge, I think it was quite expensive at the time, but he could charge whatever he wanted. So he's running a fast one. D'Angelo's taking advantage of it. But if that guy wanted to like raise the price on him or something, so we've learned the hard way too, but at least we take responsibility for the things that are happening. I mean, did you ever see that story where that lady totally took everything out of D'Angelo's house and ruined it and all kinds of different stuff? We have our stories too. And when we have a story, we kind of go, okay, how can I, maybe cut that down from happening again? And the only way you can do that is take a little responsibility for the shit that happens to you. There is no other way, whether you think it's fair or not. I just wish these people pushing. I'm tired of people making Costa Rica look bad. Like it's everywhere and everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere. Probably you are, because you hang out with those people or something. So keep your negative shit to yourself, and maybe some of your negative thoughts, and let us people that kind of have more of a positive way of life and thinking and moving ahead and enjoying the country. Can you imagine going to a freaking country and bad-mouthing it constantly? What would you put? Okay, you're in the United States or whatever. Now, some things are true. You might be upset with government. But what if it was just the people suck here? This sucks here. You suck here. And I mean, just everything. You're like, I guarantee at some point you'd go, why don't you just fucking leave then? What are you here for? Go bitch somewhere else. Well, that's how I feel about some of these bloggy, Facebooky video people that are keeping it real. No, you're not. You're not keeping it real. You just want to spread your freaking negativity, and because you tell it like it is. Guys, I'm Michael Allen, travelcostarica.com. Thinking about living or traveling anywhere, always do your homework and research. It's my video, and if it's Costa Rica, I'm going to save my videos. And I'd like to hear your comments on this one. I actually shortened this up a lot. I can actually talk about this a lot longer with a little bit more, I don't know, stories. But let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Am I right? What did I miss? Because you guys always give the best feedback. All right, man. Ciao.